Hello, 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 everybody. It is that time again. We have the Virgo new moon happening tomorrow. I know I'm getting this out a little bit later than I normally do, but the new moon has been sitting right next to my natal Chiron, so I've been dying for the past 48 hours, to say the least. But so I hope you guys are doing well, and because this new moon has felt particularly brutal for me personally, this is just what's been going on with me. I feel like we need a little bit of some decks that are going to be gentle and playful and easy. Easy. So that is what I'm sticking with today, because I'm like, well, I sure could use a little bit of lightheartedness and play, so that is what I'm going to give to you guys. And hello to everybody who's hopping on. Welcome. It's nice to see everybody. Don't forget that this video is going to cover sign by sign. If you're wondering what sign is she on, it goes in the typical order of things. So if you see a bunch of people commenting, what sign are you on? Can you please let them know that it goes in order? Aries, Taurus, Gemini, Cancer, Leo. I do this the same every time, so it should not be surprising. It goes in the order of the signs. Pisces is here. So just in case you're wondering, we're going to start with Virgo today because it is a Virgo new moon. So let's see, and then you're going to want to watch your sun, moon, and rising for a full picture. If you don't know your rising sign or your moon sign, that's okay. All right, we've got one more deck, and I also have some exciting news that I think you guys might be excited for. I don't know, I just got it today, but I now have a mailbox where you guys can send me stuff. I don't want to commit to doing pen pals because I'm a little bit worried that it might be too much. Like, if I get 1,000 letters, I'm obviously not going to be able to respond to them all by hand. But I think that I can do some fun stuff now that I have a mailbox. So if you want to mail me something, even if it's just like a postcard or a note, or if you have a deck that you want me to review, you can send that to me too. There's all sorts of stuff that we can do with it. So I'll give you guys the address in case you're interested in that. I just thought it would be fun to have another way to connect with you guys and get to know you all. And I think snail mail is fun sometimes, so I thought I'd get it. If you are watching on YouTube, the timestamps are already available. They are in the description box if you are wondering where to find the times. So I make sure to include those after I post the live video. So, and then I'll include the timestamps on Facebook once I'm completely finished. Okay. Deep breath into the diaphragm. Feel into your body. See if there's anything that you need to come up today, or if there's any answers that you're looking for. Okay, so Virgo, sun, moon, and rising. This is for you. This is where I'm starting. First thing we have coming up is the Chariot, discipline, determination. It looks like this new moon is really going to bring a renewed sense of organization. I think it's kind of like totally hitting the reset button on all your routines. This card is very specific in referring to the discipline and determination, and that immediately brought up the entirety of Virgo season being all about bringing things back to the home and getting into a routine. And so I think you're really going to find either some motivation or clarity about what you need to do to feel good in your home, in your routine, when it comes to your health, your wellness. So just what are you doing? What are the micro decisions that you're making every day? And that's what this is going to completely reboot. You're going to have the energy to actually execute on all the things that you want to. And then the affirmation card I have is Sanctuary. No surprise there. Good for you. It seems you've earned some time away from the chaos of life. It could be as small as a bubble bath or as big as a trip, or maybe a small trip to a big bubble bath or a normal sized trip to a tiny bubble bath. Or maybe you tripped and fell in someone's bath. Whatever it is, it's waiting for you with open arms. Just pick your favorite sanctuary and unplug for a bit, especially if a bath is involved. So yes, taking really good care of yourself during this new moon. Take time to rest. For some people, the new moon is going to bring a total wave of energy, and that Virgo moon is really going to be able to like light a fire under your ass to get things done. And then for others of you, it might be making you really, really tired. It just depends. So that's kind of where either way, getting this idea of a sanctuary going, so either on the resting side or on the building side, so creating sanctuary in your everyday life is another thing you can work on. And then we also have the Six of Cups. So this you might have a soulmate popping up, you know, they're all over the damn place. So you might find yourself dealing with a soulmate right now, having one resurface, especially because I believe Venus is going retrograde, and that has a tendency to bring up a lot of old characters, old soulmates, and so you might find that that's kind of something that you're either reminiscing about or that's actually actively showing up in your life. So just keep your eyes peeled for that, because I think that this really has to do with some information being brought forward in present time. So it's less about, you know, what's going on in the relationship and more about the information that you're getting from that experience. All right, Libra, Sun, Moon, and Rising. Hello, hello to all of my Libra friends. It's nice to see you all. Let's see what's coming up for you today. Knight of Shells, charm and passion. I think that this is, oh, really quick, this is equivalent to the Knight of Cups in a normal deck, if you don't already know that. So let me pull this one first, because I'm curious how these are playing together. We have Justice. This is your card. So I think this is really going to shine a light on whatever is out of whack emotionally. Virgo is all about reality, grounding, being present. And so you might find that there might be either some emotional balance or an emotional imbalance, or an emotional aspect that you haven't really addressed. And so this new moon is kind of helping everything flow. Like I said, you too have a reset button the same way Virgo does. But for you, it's going to be more on an emotional basis. So it just looks like there's a lot of grounding that's coming from this whole experience. So it looks good. It's just like the figuring out how to integrate everything, if that makes sense. Let's see what the affirmation card is for you. We have Get Centered. How funny. When it gets to be too much, whatever it is, I close my eyes and return to my center. In my center, I have the wisdom and tranquility of a blank favorite animal holding a blank, a magical item floating through a space on a piece of furniture. Okay, so there's a little Mad Lib for you. But this really is about finding your emotional center through the chaos, through whatever it is that's going on, because the thing is about healing, it's not like when you're doing healing work, nothing ever goes wrong again. That's not what healing is for. It's when things go wrong, when there is a hiccup, it doesn't send you into a tailspin. It doesn't knock your entire world over. It's just something that happens. It's just a part of the story. That's really what the goal of a lot of healing work is just to find the emotional center within yourself so that you can kind of sway in the breeze. You don't have to topple over when things happen. And so I think that this Virgo new moon is doing you a lot of good. I think this is just really working for you on all levels, so you can really find that within yourself and feel more grounded. So that's super exciting. I actually really like that reading that I just gave for you guys. I'm like kind of jealous. I'm like, what? I want a Libra moon. So, okay. Now we have Scorpio. Scorpio, sun, moon, and rising. Hello, hello to all of you. Let's see what's going on. First thing, we have the Ace of Acorns. This is equivalent to the Ace of Rods, so creative force and confidence. There's a little bit of like a bulldozer energy that's happening here. I think it might be because of how grounded Virgo is. That's something that you can use to your advantage at this time. Like, yes, you kind of have the taskmaster at hand that can be really supportive of you getting things done and making things happen. So this is a really good time to examine your to-do list, see what can you tackle, what feels good, what feels like you want to put it on the back burner. I think that there's somewhat of like, just take action on something with this. You're really going to be able to find the energy to complete things, because it just looks like the completion, like getting things done, even if you're like, no, I need to wait for the right timing. I think the new moon is going to push you into take action, then kind of sweep things up after. Okay, then the affirmation we have is gratitude. Today, I am grateful for all of the little things. Even when the big things suck, there are always plenty of little things I can be at least a little grateful for. Like hot showers and music and the fact that humans invented the internet and I'm allowed to use it whenever I want to, using fingers and thumbs to do whatever I think them to do at any given moment. And just showing appreciation and gratitude for what you have going is really going to make this even easier for you to get things done. And then we also have the Six of Swords. It's okay, whatever you're charging towards, it's okay to leave things behind in the process. So like when you're saying yes to one thing, you're saying no to another. And remember that every time you say yes to an experience or to taking action, you're saying no to the old way of being. And so it's like every day you get the opportunity to change things. You get the opportunity to restart. You get a fresh start every 24 hours. So don't forget that. Each day you can make different decisions for yourself. So I think this moon for you, if I were to label this moon for Scorpio, I would call it the empowerment moon. Like that is without a doubt what you have showing up here. So that looks good. Sagittarius, sun, moon, and rising. Hello, hello. Nice to see you. Hello to everybody who's hopping on. Okay, here we go. Four of Acorns, comfort, community. This is also very much a Virgo card because it has to do with the home. So I think your attention is probably going to be focused on what are you doing with the time and space that you have in the physical space that you occupy, whatever that is. How are you making it comfortable for yourself? How are you thriving there? Even like, because Sagittarius rules travel, so maybe if you're traveling a lot or your home might have a lot of movement, if that's the case for you, this still exists for you. Like even with a lot of movement, your home is wherever you are. Like that's the space that you're creating for yourself. And so it's a good time to identify what you would like to improve, what's working for your body on a home level, and making any necessary tweaks. And then the affirmation we have is communication. Wonder how that other person's feeling? Ask them. Wish they knew how you were feeling? Tell them. You've just been drafted into the communication army where there's a strict do ask, do tell policy. Speak with kindness and gentleness and reach an understanding. If you don't, assumption will just make asses of everyone, including the person who came up with the aphorism. Okay, so really express your needs, especially at home. Especially at home. Communicate, and that is how you problem solve with people. Remember that a closed mouth won't get fed, and you really do have to communicate in order to effect change or even begin to make things happen. Like that's the first step, is just speaking it, right? Even if you don't know how to take action yet. And then we have the Two of Cups. So this looks like it's really relationship centered for you, relationship with self, relationship with others, honoring your needs, communicating your needs, and identifying your needs. All of those things are going to be coming up with this new moon. And I think because Sagittarius has a tendency to be really expansive, it's time to become a little bit more grounded so that you can take care of this stuff. That's what Virgo energy is helping you to do. That's how you can best utilize this time and work with this, is just really focusing on identifying and communicating your needs. Because it's like Sagittarius might ignore this a little bit. That's what I notice Sagittarians have a little bit of a struggle staying grounded. That's just not like their strength unless you have a lot of earth placements. So just use this right now because it's going to work well for you. Okay. Now, Capricorn. Hello, hello, hello to all of my Capricorn friends. It's nice to see you all. And what you have coming up with this new moon is the Magician. Manifest, break out the vision board, start journaling, start asking for the things that you've been craving. What is your wildest dream? What is the big success you want to have happen? Post it in a comment if you have, or this is for anyone. Just what is it that you are wanting right now? Even if it's far-fetched, like just what is it? Post it. I'm curious, what are you guys after? Is it health? Is it career success? Is it, something specific? Like, is there a new place that you want to be, or some money that you're trying to manifest? Like, I figure out what that is and start the process of manifestation. I have a really strong intuitive hit that this winter, I guess if you're in the Northern Hemisphere, these last few months of the year are going to be instrumental for what you're able to manifest. Use that to your advantage. It's something that you really want to, utilize right now. So that's a nice thing to have popping up. And then we also have playfulness. I am a playful participant in life, and I always have the option to make something fun, a fun game rather than a heavy burden. Mary Poppins put sugar in the medicine for a reason. That lady really knows how to party. Okay, and so I also know, because Saturn rules Capricorn, I know that this isn't always easy. Capricorns tend to be more work-focused, more driven and on the straight and narrow, very task-oriented, and so this just looks like you can mix it up too. That also has benefits, so don't forget about it. And then we have the Fool. So trying something new, experimenting and exploring. This really does look like the start of a new season. I think that for you more so than anyone else, this is like a total ground zero. You have the Fool and the Magician. Those are right at the start of the tarot deck. This is like you going off on a new journey and you really inviting the new things that you want in your life to pop up. And so for you, this is like the slate is clean for you to build on. And so that's probably the biggest gift that you're getting out of this new moon. Okay. Oh, and Saturn is direct, or it's going direct. Here soon, so that also helps clear things up as well. So the manifestation aspect is actually going to come to life a lot faster than you're expecting. All right, Aquarius, Sun, Moon, and Rising. This is good for you. Let's see what's coming up first. Judgment, or this is Awakening in this deck. Renewal, Enlightenment. I'm going to pull the other card first before I interpret that one. Six of Pentacles. This is you being highly conscious and highly aware of where your energy is going. It's kind of tricky for Aquarians to really pinpoint where it's going. a lot of the time, because you are so community oriented and focused on innovation, I would say that there's a lot of energy that Aquarians expel, like that they just give to a lot of different things. I don't know a single Aquarian that doesn't have their hand in like 6 different pots. So it's one of those things that I think you're really beginning to see what's a worthwhile investment and what's not. Where are you getting a return on the energy that you're giving, and where are you not? It just looks like there's a lot of clarity around where it's going and what you're getting out of it. And so this is going to help you be realistic with what you're doing with your time, energy, space, and resources. That's what the Virgo energy is kind of helping you to like clean your energetic investments up. And so that's what you really have that aha moment with this new moon. It just seems like this is also working really well for you. And then we also have story of my life. As I tell myself the story of what's happening in my life, I choose to make it the kind of story where even the tough parts have a sort of inner beauty. It's ultimately a happy story where every character, no matter how wicked, is doing their best. And let me tell you, it'll be worth it when I earn that Pulitzer Prize for Best Inner Monologue. That's a cute card. So yes, be mindful of energetic investment. It is absolutely worth considering. It is absolutely worth thinking about. So just kind of take note as we approach this new moon and the days after, you know, just keep your eye on it, because it looks like there's information there for you. All right, Pisces, sun, moon, and rising. Hello to all of my Pisces friends. What is this? Okay, anyway, let's do this. What's coming up? King of Feathers. Logic and justice. So this is technically the King of Swords in a normal deck, and it really looks like being on your own and having a lot of crown chakra ownership and being able to discern for yourself is the best thing that you can do. As information is coming your way, just check in with yourself. Is that true for you? Just because someone is saying it does not mean it needs to be bought or accepted as truth. And that's something that I know, it's like that I can't stand that stereotype of Pisces being really gullible, because I don't feel that way. I think it's more about Pisces are oftentimes really intertwined in the collective consciousness, and so that's more of where it's coming from. Like Pisces in particular are capable of holding on to 75 truths all at the same time, and so you can basically buy somebody else's truth as your own. That's more of what it's about. It's not actually about you being easily convinced. It's that you have such strength in being able to hold all different perspectives, that it's more about owning the other part of it, which is discernment, and being able to see what's yours, what isn't, what's yours, what's somebody else's, you know, just going through and checking off the boxes with that. Okay, anyway, moving on. So next thing, ultimate potential. I choose to live a life of my fullest potential. I trust that this will draw me towards experiences and people that support my growth and accomplishment. Tuning into this frequency, I now reach higher heights than I ever thought possible. Knowing that's an option, why would I have ever turned into anything else? I'm looking at you, smooth jazz and talk radio. It's interesting. I actually think that a lot of this has to do with time. The potential that you have is found within time. That really is where you can start to like extract a lot more. Just consider like, what are you doing with it? How are you spending it? How is it working for you? And I think you might find, oh, there's a whole realm of potential that's untapped right now. So it looks like you're making some healthy adjustments with that. And then we also have the Six of Wands. So this is the victory card, you getting the things that you want and need, you having a lot of a lot of forward movement in whatever it is that you're doing. And I think that's coming from the discernment, like as soon as you tap into your own truth again. And again, this is what the Virgo energy is nice for, is it actually pulls you away from all that collective consciousness and grounds you more. So that's kind of what this is. That's like what the propeller is like you, now that you're grounded, it's kind of like the reboot of energy, just kind of being infused in there. And so it just looks, it looks like it's providing some momentum as well. All right. And then Aries, sun, moon, and rising. Hello, hello, hello. First thing coming up for Aries is the Page of Shells, intuition and inspiration. So it's interesting. You might actually find that this moon might be a little bit more emotional, that it might bring up a lot of stuff or make you want to communicate your emotions with other people. It just looks more sensitive for you. So let's see what else is coming up, but this is just showing a real clarity around your emotions. Then we also have good things to come. There are so many amazing gifts coming my way. I can't see them now because I respect the general convention of not peeking under wrapping paper, but they will show up when the time is just right. And that's when I'll remember how much fun it is to be surprised. Okay. I can tell you from experience, obviously, that not peeking around every corner is one of the most irritating things. And so it just looks like, you know, having the trust, having the ability to just kind of like wait and see, watch things come in, even if you can't see them yet. Just focus on being able to see it when it comes up. And that is going to be really, really helpful for you. And then we also have the Five of Wands. You guys know, if you've been on my channel for a while, this is one of my favorite cards in tarot. The inside of conflict, inside of healthy conflict, because this is a conflict card, that's where solutions appear. That's where growth happens. That is where challenges are overcome. That is where obstacles are lifted. And so I think if you use this to your advantage, it's going to provide a lot of answers and solutions for you. So remember, you guys know the Sovereign Oracle deck that I use all the time, but her friction card says when rough surfaces rub together enough, the end result is smoother. And so that's what the Five of Wands is really showing you in terms of the friction, and the conflict is actually what helps you construct. So don't sell yourself short. Conflict is not something that is just a negative. It's something that helps you get closer to answers, or get answers. Okay, and then Taurus, sun, moon, and rising. Hello to all of you. Let's see, Six of Crystals, synergy and gratitude. This is all about reciprocation, give and take, balance. Balance, balance, balance. I think, because I know we have, I think it's the Grand Earth Trine happening. I don't know when it's happening. I'm not an astrologer, but if you look it up, it's a solid time for Earth signs to get things done. Really potent for manifestation and things. So this is kind of pointing to how much are you giving, how much are you receiving? And I'm actually getting that this will work really well for Taurus if you spend a little bit of time being generous. So I'm at, most of the time when I'm reading this card, it tends to have an essence of like, watch your investments. But this actually looks like generosity, like giving, like thinking about what the return on the investment of generosity is for you. And you might be surprised, like there's a lot that can come from that. So don't write it off completely. It's something that you can really work with. Okay, then we have letting go. I don't dwell on bad things that happened. I let things go because I have enough heavy things to carry around. And also, grudges aren't a great look. So this is kind of ironic coming up with Taurus, because it is, you know, the bull-headed sign, super, super stubborn. And so it's okay to like let go of expectations. It's okay to let go of feeling like you're owed something, you know, that can come up. And I think that's also why the idea of generosity is coming up. Like, if you're going to be generous, you can't say, okay, well, where's the return right away? But just think about what's possible from being generous, like not just from that specific person, but energetically, what can you get from being generous? And then we also have the Seven of Swords. This is about being mindful of what do you need to leave behind, what do you need to let go of, and what do you need to carry with you, what's coming along for the ride, and what needs to be released. I think this is helping you to figure that out and then manifest accordingly. All right, now we have Gemini, Sun, Moon, and Rising. Okay. Five of Shells, hope, readjustment. So this is really about reorienting your focus. Like, rather than just staring at what isn't working, you have to, well, I mean, you don't have to, you can do whatever you want. But in order to really build something that's stronger than what was in existence before, you have to adjust your focus so that you can double down on your strengths rather than trying to overcompensate for weaknesses. Because that it's like the idea, and I'm not sure, you might, I'm just going to use this example for the sake of this reading. A lot of teenagers, for example, they'll be in this state for a while where they're like, I don't want to be like my parents. Okay, so if you're only focusing on what you don't want to be, that is fine for a time. That's only going to get you so far. At a certain point, you're going to have to adjust your focus and look at what you want to become. It's not just about avoiding negative things. It's also about focusing on what do you want to evolve within yourself next. So remember to keep that in mind. And then we have vitality. I'm healthy and vital and strong. My radiant love of life fills me with healthy, vital, and strong cells. Each cell is a warrior. Everyone has his own sword and shield. I dare you to try and penetrate my cellular army. Didn't think so, chump. Okay. Again, we've seen quite a bit that health stuff has come up with a lot of signs because it is a Virgo new moon. So this is a great time to focus on cleaning whatever it is up in your routine and your health in your home, and just seeing what can you do to support yourself and your body with the resources and circumstances that you have currently. Okay, because there's always a way to do it. Somehow, even if it's just a minor tweak. And then we also have the King of Swords. So this is you. I think you're just gonna feel like you have a really sharp mind, like you're really clear and level-headed with this moon. I think that it's just a good potent grounded energy for you to kind of make space for all of your ideas, all your thoughts, and it's also giving you the opportunity to adjust your focus. All right, Cancer. Sun, Moon, and Rising. Knight of Feathers. Okay, so I'm going to pull this one first. Three of Swords. Okay, so this looks like... Hold on, let me listen. There's all this... There's a bunch of stuff going on. I'm actually getting that this is a person. Yeah, so at first I was like, wait, what does this have to do with you? And then I was like, oh, right, this is a person. So the Knight of Feathers, it's probably someone who has a lot of airy qualities. So clear, level-headed, innovative, a thinker, right? So we're in the idea of thinking. Somebody who is really strong-minded, strong-willed. It just looks like either you are going through an experience of letting this person go or experiencing disappointment, or this could also be someone who's activating old wounds. Okay, so there's something about this timing that looks like it's involving a person. I don't know why you're the only sign that's had that show up, but it just looks like this is related to a person, or this is a person, and then your experience around that. It could be an anniversary of someone who's passed away. It just looks like there's something being reactivated, so you might find that this is a really sensitive time for you as well, that it might be hitting you a little bit harder than usual. Let's see, we have nature. It's time to unleash your inner hippie and step outside of that man-made box. Take a walk in the woods, smell those flowers, hug some trees. You might think you're being ironic, like, look at me, I'm being all tree huggery and stuff, but you'll find that even then, those trees will hug you back. Trees come from a time before irony, and their earnestness is impervious to our jaded humor. If that doesn't make you want to go hug them even more, well, I guess you're a robot. So get outside. I think this is like the solution, right? This is the experience that you're having, and the nature piece is the solution. Go to the beach, hang out, go walk around a garden, take a walk around the block, do something outside to just, again, get centered, get grounded. This is the time to do that. And I think it's going to help neutralize this somewhat, or give you more support in whatever this three of swords is, because this is a big release card. Alrighty. And last but certainly not least, we have Leo, Sun, Moon, and Rising. First thing coming up, Ace of Shells, happiness, abundance. This looks really clear. Let me see what else is happening. We also have the Ten of Pentacles, so focusing on foundation. This is very much about, I'm actually getting the construction of your happiness, the construction of your fulfillment, the construction of your abundance. This doesn't actually come without a level of work. And the Ten of Pentacles, while it is about legacy, you have to think about the amount of time it took to build that legacy, the amount of time it took to build this kingdom, if you will. And that's what you have to remember, is that this is a long-term project. Happiness is something that can be found at any time, but it also is something that it's a practice. It is something that, is fluid. It's something that does take work as well. It doesn't always come naturally, because that's simply not the way our brains are designed. Our brains are designed to pick out things that could kill us, that could harm us. Our brains are designed to act out of scarcity. Our brains, it's like we still have very primal brains. So remember that all of the goodness, all of the wonderful things that you want to experience do come from the work. And that's what Virgo is teaching us, is it takes hard work, it takes dedication, it takes consistency, and it takes that grounded effort and adaptability to make that happen. So this just looks like it's reflecting that to you. Okay, and then we also have ups and downs. I see life as an incredible ride, and I'm lucky to be on it. Yes, the ups and downs make me want to puke sometimes, but they're also what make things fun and interesting. And when you look back, even puking on yourself makes for a good story. So this is what I'm talking about. Happiness is fluid. It is not a constant state. So what I like to encourage people to look at is that happiness and extreme joy should not be baseline. That's not that's not actually the thing that's consistent. It's more of, you know, the ebbs and flows that are going along with it. Contentment, being content and confident about your situation is one thing, but you also have to make room for the ebbs and flows, the ups and downs, the hits and misses that go along with that. Okay, so that is all that I have for you today. Don't forget, I will be posting my mailing address if you want to send me one, send me anything. I think it'll be a lot of fun to kind of play around with that with everybody. I'm going to post it in the Facebook thing, the description, and then I'll also put it in the description box on YouTube. And if you're interested in working with me, don't forget that all of the links are in the description box if you're watching on YouTube. And until next time, have a beautiful new moon, everybody, and I will talk to you all later. Don't forget to manifest whatever your heart desires. All right, and I will talk to you all later. Have a beautiful weekend. Bye-bye.